trust a brandy buck and a toque.
What? That was just a detour. A shortcut.
Shortcut to what?
The mushrooms!
And I'll bring it back up.
Bring it all back to
Cool.
you.
We're back.
In
Whoa,
first.
what a change. Wait, I'll just double check I am recording. Yes, I am recording. Wow, magic.
Second track of the day.
Alright,
Crack on, Andreas. Please.
it's my turn.
Yeah.
Daniel S., Mr. Stuckey, I believe.
I assume it's Dave.
I would assume so. Great guy, top guy. Taking part of the triad, the Green Allies triad, Azog's Legion and Dark Powers, the other one being Azog's Hunters, but we've just got the other two. So we've got Azog, White Wog, Heavy Armor, all the toys. Leading just a Gunnerbad Orc assortment. I've got Solar Assault with a banner, and then you've got the Necromancer allied in with Gunnerbad Orcs of pretty well equal mix, just about, without another banner. What I can spot here is you get the benefits of Master of Battle, and you get the benefits of the Free Will. On the Necromancer, it's pretty brick wally, like those Thrall lists, to be honest.
Yeah, I had almost forgotten about the Master of Battle on Azog, so obviously that's a good choice.
No roll.
Taking with the Legion.
Yeah.
It's a solid mix with the Gunnerbad Orcs, having the extra defense there. Do you think you would have taken a slightly different composition?
Yeah, I would have brought the signal tower, but that's just me.
You would always bring the Signal Tower, even if you couldn't field it in the right number of points.
I would have been a signal tower and the Necromancer, yes.
So, do you think that there's any scope for a few? Actually, there's no bows in there. That is something to be said.
That is something interesting, I think. Maybe to be used for the Hunter Orc.
My thing with the bows isn't so much have some bows. I mean, you can have your Honesty bows, which is always great. If you're gonna have no bows though, it's fine. I would have just sacrificed one or a couple of orcs and just chucked in a Warbat or two.
Yeah, I think the Warbats are a huge benefit of taking Legion.
Yeah.
Just that potential. We all know that the damage that you can do that's non-interactive is some of the most valuable that can be done. But if you're not going to take bows, you probably need a way to close the gap.
Yeah, Necromancer's good.
The Necromancer can bring forward a bit. But I think obviously calling a march with Azog beyond maybe the first point would be a bit of a waste.
Does he have much? I believe he does.
I'm relatively certain he has
Azog
march.
doesn't have
Does have much. Right, cool.
And so maybe I would have considered somebody with march in there, but then you start to lose what is the theme of this list, which is just I've got two big hitters
and a brick wall.
Bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Azog does not have march.
Doesn't have march, so this is going to be moving at 6 inches except for Azog. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's a brave composition. It won't die easily, but I think it won't catch up to things easily either.
I also respect that he's got something that has a relatively easy game plan. Move forward, go kill things.
Yeah, pretty well. Cool.
As you need with the
I wish you luck, Daniel. This is a respectable list.
Yeah.
It has obvious opportunities, but obvious strengths. All right, Darius. A face I haven't seen in a little bit. I think he did come to Clash. He had his wonderful Goblin Town. He's running Fellowship in the Shire. Jack.
Yes, what a list. What a list indeed.
Was it Jack or Liam? It doesn't matter.
It was Liam, but fuck Liam. So...
we would.
Yeah.
Says Team Liam's house.
Yes.
Which I did not create, but anyway.
I mean, you bought a house.
I did buy
so
a
you
house.
did kind of create Team Liam's house. That is a team. It's not a gag, it's a team.
It is in fact a team. Best team AU. So, an interesting list here. Taking the Fellowship and only taking Gimli and Legolas. I don't know if you can bring Bill.
Well, there is Sam in the list. We're not sure which version of Sam it is.
Correct. I'm hoping that Sam is part of the Shire, which makes this list legal.
Wouldn't it be the other way around?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
You have to take...
Sorry, no, it's Shire.
Yeah.
Shire, Sam, not in the Shire, but in the Fellowship.
I think it makes sense because he's the only Hobbit hero that's not leading any troops. So I think it might just be a formatting thing.
I think it is.
Yeah. So,
which is fine.
with that in mind...
Interesting, yeah. So, obviously, Gimli and Legolas with the 42-43. Getting that +1 to wound for either one, either with the shooting or with the wounds on Gimli is very interesting. In general, we've got a lot of hobbits there. We've got a lot of sheriffs and a lot of brandy bucks. We've also got some archers in there to cover it up. Some of the new, well, not new anymore, but some of the Scouring of the Shire hobbits are very good. We've got Merry there, Paladin Took, and then Robin and Holfoot as well. So, interesting.
Yeah, I think the inclusion of Bill as, someone who can just sit next to Legolas and be like, yeah, have some stuff back.
Yep.
Is a really interesting choice.
And Bill is a banner? for...
Builders of Banner for hobbits.
For
That's
hobbits.
why he's there. I think it's because he's going to walk into the field. He can't charge anything, but he is a banner for all
But
hobbits.
he does have attacks, right?
One,
He can defend himself.
he can strike back, but he can't charge. So
Yes.
unlike other things like Frodo, who can win the fight but can't strike back, he can still kill.
Yeah, that's it's an interesting mix that Darius has put into this table. Again, Darius is also known for some really
Interesting,
unique armies in terms of the paint scheme and the display board. So I do wonder what Darius will be bringing up to us.
Yeah. Also going to be a very, very colourful list. All right. David H. Minas Tirith. Good old Bozza Tower.
I'll take this one.
Well, if you take this one.
It's Boromir on horse with shield and banner, Huron the Tall on horse, and Madril. Straight off the bat, I believe that this is the optimum 3 hero choices for a Bannermere list.
Thematically, no one's included Faramir.
Correct. I believe it's a really interesting mix. There's more guards of the Fountain Court than I typically bring, meaning that there's a lot of Fight 5. There's 6 guards of the Fountain Court.
Seven, I think. Yeah, seven.
7 guards of the Fountain Court. There's 4 rangers, all giving Fight 5 if they're within range of Boromir.
Yeah.
You've got a fair selection of warriors of Minas Tirith becoming Fight 4. You've got the knights if you want to ride out with Boromir or as a striking force with Huron.
There's 6 knights. Yeah.
So you can't be sleeping on the potential Fight 4 with a +1 to wound, plus the knockdown. Huron is a huge save. If someone's is willing to invest in killing Boromir, you've still got the leader points all saved up.
Correct.
And it just gives you more flexibility with your Boromir. If you need to just move a little forward and smash through 12 guys, then you can get on with playing your game. But I also respect the choice of Madril. I think the consistency that he offers with the 3 points of might, the
Reinforcements.
and the bonus to your Maelstrom missions and to reconnoiter is absolutely huge.
Yeah.
So really, really well thought out there from David.
38 models.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it on the table. And it's definitely a list to one that I did consider.
Cool. I think there's much else to say. Liam just pretty much said it all. I honestly was scared you were just going to say it's Boromir, White Tower, Banner, and everything else.
Look, it's a Gondor list that isn't taking Knight of the White Tower, so it has to be good, right?
That's a good point.
Enough out of you. Yeah, we're not getting monetized. Sorry, guys.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, Dom O, Easterlings and Khan. I actually really like this.
Yeah, go for
it. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon Emperor, everybody's favourite current toy.
Mm-hmm.
It is the current toy. We haven't had a big release in a while, so it is kind of...
not only
is it the current toy I need, but
Yeah, not only is it the current toy, it's the current toy that didn't get nerfed.
Yes, the current toy that needs its time in the sun so they can sell more of them.
The one that J. Claire is in fact playing.
Yes. As long as J. Claire plays this, you're safe. So we've got Dragon Emperor with pretty well the 18 full warband assortment of Easterlings. A combination of Black Dragon upgrades to save on points, it seems. So you got the Cataphract with the drum, which if Kylie were here, she'd be like, the drums, pinnacle, fantastic.
Is that your Kylie impression?
That is one thing I would consider editing out, and
and that means we leave it in.
Which means we're leaving it in.
Andreas, I don't have the stones to insult Kylie.
Look, it was an insult. I had to say it in Kylie's voice because she gives it such high praise. The drum is pinnacle.
What would the world champion know about writing lists? Am I right, guys?
Yeah. What world champion? What, around the Americas and Europe right now?
Absolutely crushed it across multiple continents.
I mean, look, she's still got to prove it in New Zealand.
She's going to finish her journey down here at Masters.
Yeah. You got New Zealand she's up at now, I believe.
Yes, I believe she's in.
So if she can do 3 for 3, it'll be pressure on for 4 for 4.
Yeah. Good luck until we find you in Australia.
Back to Dom's list though.
Yeah.
So Dom's got the full assortment of Eastlings, mix of Black Dragons, got the drum for the movement, which is great, which only affects Eastlings.
Correct.
And then Kandis King on Chariot and a Kandis Chieftain on Chariot. And you got another Chariot for just a normal warrior, and then a mix of horsemen and one little guy with a bow on foot, which I suspect is probably just for point sync. Which is, I actually don't know if that's legal.
Well, while you do some math and you check the math slowly, We'll talk it through the list.
It's interesting. I think it's different.
It is.
In my opinion, I don't know if it's enough Easterlings for the Dragon Emperor.
Yeah, I respect Dom's choice with the Khan because we see so little Khan, mainly because most people don't own any. I think the chariots are a fun inclusion. The Khandish King can do a lot of work. I think the fact that you've got the 3 chariots in there is good. I didn't realise the drum wouldn't affect the Khans, so I wonder if there was that intention of getting the extra movement there. But much like the previous list we saw with, you're investing a lot of points to make sure that the things around it are buffed. So whether the +1 fight bubble, don't get me wrong, 18 dudes can fill that bubble. The bubble is very, very big though. I believe it's 6 inches for one and 12 inches for the other in terms of banner.
There's like
12 inches for the
banner, 6 inches for the fight, I think.
Correct.
Yeah,
It's a big bubble.
it's a huge. It's this army is not going to be without its banner, more or less. And I just realised I was wrong. That is legal.
Yep.
Because the Khandish horsemen don't count towards your warrior limit. Mm-hmm. But because he's only got 2 warriors rounding up, he can have the one with the bow. Or is it?
No, you still count them as warriors. They just don't count them with your bow limit.
No, you don't count them in the bow limit calculation at all.
Oh.
So anyway, it's fine. I was wrong. Yeah. I was over mathing things.
And yes, it was 12 inches for the 12 inches for the banner and 6 inches for that +1 fight.
So I look forward to seeing what Dom brings to the table in terms of how he uses those Eastlings with the Emperor. But the fact that, I believe he's probably the only person running Khan, let alone those chariots, means there's at least a different flavour as part of this list, which, I like.
I do like Khan needs more love. I think it's fun.
I just like people that run Khan.
I
mean,
it's fun. I like it.
If it was pure Khan, it would have been like fantastic. If it's this with Khan, with Dragon Emperor, I'm like, cool, that's fantastic too. Like anytime I see a king on a chariot, that's nothing to laugh at, and it's just fun. It's just good fun. So best of luck, Dom. Trample some things and ruin some dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not quite a trample actually. Tramples are for war beasts.
Sorry, forgive me. Impact. I mean, you can't say impacts and things. Like it sounds lame.
Impact me. Anyway.
Impact me, Dave.
Dylan M bringing some Isengard. We have one of the best models in all of Middle Earth.
Maha.
Grima on horse. Yes.
Yes.
Because you brought Grima on horse, it means that you've probably included Saruman in the list because you have to. And of course, those two are nothing to sleep on. It's interesting. I wonder how many times Dylan will actually deploy Grima with Saruman, or whether he'll be deploying it with obviously one of the attached heroes of the opposing list. There's a solid number of Urukai in the list. You've got 2 of the other best hero choices in Mahur, allowing you to upgrade those scouts into Marauders. Yep. So you've got a bunch of move 8, I believe it's 10 move 8 figures. You've got the 2 Crabane in there, and a fair smattering of crossbows with Varashku, so you've got 5 crossbows there.
The perfect amount of Crabane.
Yeah, I think Crabane is a great choice from Dylan. I think that pikes have been underutilized for a few years within the game.
I think so.
Whether Dylan can use them well enough to, create a resurgence of pikes, good luck. But the fact that you've got the banner with the pike, which flavor-wise, I love the idea of the pike on the end of the banner on the end of the pike. I hate the fact that you can hold both a banner and a pike, but I love the fact that you're doing it anyway. Whether 7 pikes will be enough to push through, we'll find out. But there's certainly a lot of potential power because that's Isengard 4-on-4s.
Yeah, absolutely. Nailed it. Yeah.
This list has just enough crossbows, just enough marauders, just enough pikes, just enough Crabane. It's got just enough of everything to do what it needs to do. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Dylan can do with that same consistency. Again, Saruman's not the greatest of warriors, but of course we've got the veto scenarios. Yeah. So I think Dylan can make some good choices here and do well.
Cool. Love it. And there's no ballistas. We're always happy about that.
Always love no siege engines.
Yay! Alright.
Emily.
I mean, look,
would you like to
I will take this one. Look, I low-key wish Emily was here. She was meant to come back home early, and she had no idea she was going to be saying her piece. But I'll say it for her anyway. I will say Emily made her list all on her lonesome. We were all present, and we were all kind of just looking at it going, okay, interesting.
We had a lot of questions at first, and then suddenly we were like, that actually has a surprising amount of answers.
Yeah, so we've got the Balrog, everyone's favourite demon of shadow and flame, leading one dweller in the dark, his son, Steve. Steve. I'm sure she'll correct me on that. It'll be some really cool name that I couldn't think of. But
Algernon the Destroyer.
Algernon. Yeah. Something big like Morgoth, the Lord of Balrogs, but it's just a little guy. Then we've got
Morgoth, the Lord of Compensating.
Yes, we got Druzhar, the Beast Caller, with 2 giant spiders, 2 Wog Marauders, tick 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 for Liam,
Absolutely.
and 1 Bat Swarm. If we ask Liam, he'll probably tell you double the Marauders, and then we're talking.
And you got to mention the Black Shield Shaman.
I do. We the token, and I say token because this guy's never really a token. The token Moria Black Shield Shaman. That don't worry, guys. You guys can ignore him. Nothing bad will happen if you ignore this little dude. I mean, look, we had a long discussion in the car when we were getting takeaway at one point with this.
Mm-hmm.
It's as someone who played Moria for like 7 years straight. You know, you take the Balrog and you go, I need to fill my force with things that will gain the +1 fight, that will pass the courage tests, and to help keep my numbers up.
And Emily said,
and Emily's gone, nah, that's the wrong way to play. So I love the fact that she's got a huge hero in the Balrog, one of the biggest in the game. You've got the fact that the Dweller has move 8, it's fight 7, it's going to be taking out 1 potential number of troops each turn, but also it's going to cause heroes to sweat.
Yes. Fight 7, it regains wounds when it kills models.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very similar to a mini Gullivar. It's more like some weird child of Gullivar on the Balrog.
Mm-hmm.
But very, very scary. 75 points.
Waste resources on those heroes that are fight 6 or less, which they desperately need for the Balrog.
Exactly right. You've got the Black Shield Shaman in there who, number 1, gives an extra point of might.
Yep.
Don't sleep on the might. And 2, Tremor is funny, but Shatter is hilarious.
Oh, baby.
That is 3 potential casts of Shatter on your banner or
Sauron's mace.
Sauron's mace, thank you.
Literally the only thing you can't shatter is the ring.
Or
Yeah.
natural war gear.
Yeah, or Stars of Power. Saves of Power, yeah.
Everything else is free game, baby.
And so you go, cool, you've got something that, someone who can deal with the Balrog potentially. What about -1 to all your dual rolls? And then we get to Druzag's Warband, and you're right, I personally would drop the giant spiders to 2 extra Wild Marauders, or 1 and a bit.
It still counts towards the bow limit, though.
Yeah, but I would just run a legal list, because I'm a terrible person.
That does sound like you.
Druzag does a lot of really interesting things here. So you've got the Bat Swarm, which obviously halves the fight rounding down of your opponent. You don't actually need that for the Balrog. Balrog's already fight 10. You can just basically strike up to get there. So the Bat Swarm can go with your Dweller or other threats to make sure that you are getting the job done. You've got Enraged Beast on the giant spiders, or if the Wild Marauders have been dismounted.
Yeah.
It's just a surprising number of threats. You've got the Fury from Druzag covering the beasts. You've got the Auto Pass coverage from the Balrog covering everything that's not the Dweller. And the Dweller has like courage 7 or something.
It's courage 7, yeah.
Yeah.
So
there's no march, but everything's pretty fast.
there's no march. You've got a surprising amount of speed.
Yeah.
Heroes really need to be worried about your list. If you've
And 4 shots still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that on paper you look at this and you've gone, did someone just put out a random number generator to work out what parts of the Moria list go into it? But when you look at these pieces, there is a surprising amount of synergy. I really hope Emily can put those pieces to test the mettle of some other players, because this is a list that will be a bit of a not necessarily a black sheep in terms of podium,
A dark horse, perhaps.
but it's got the chance to run some real upsets in matchups where you think it's not favourable.
See my... Oh, sorry, Dak, you going to say that?
I was going to say, it's dark horse. I love all monster lists. I like to run silly lists similar to Andreas. And this is literally speaking to me. It's singing my choir. I love it. It's really going to cause some problems, especially walking into a consistent list that's going into a combat scenario. This is going to shit face all over them.
My favourite thing of this list, I mean, other than Emily came up with this really odd synergy all on her own, which is quite impressive actually, given she hasn't done a lot of list building before. There's no direct answer for this. Like, literally no direct answer that I can think of. Siege engines, pose a threat to the Balrog.
But
But it's
but also,
I can't name one thing that goes, I can do it.
The rules behind the siege engines actually don't make the Balrog too sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, look,
His specials.
this is just going to be flat out interesting.
Yeah, I think it'd be one to play. I think the other thing that, to Emily's credit, I think this is one of those lists that it looks like it's going to be horrible to play against, but I think both she and the opponent will have some fun with it. And at the end of the day, we're here to roll dice.
Yeah.
It's a hobby, and as much as we'd all like to be crowned champion, if you're not having fun with it, then, you know.
I'm pretty sure Emily said
Yeah.
she doesn't want her move phases to last longer than 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, music to my ears. That's
No.
what I like to see. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
It's
Good
great
job,
list.
Emily.
Let's smash through them. Only 24 out of 84.
We're doing well.
Cool. Erebor claimed Dane, Nori, and Dory. Very interesting. They're using the Champions of Erebor versions. And then Dane, Ironfoot, King out of the Mountain. I hope he's on Pig. But he very well might not be. I'm not sure. It doesn't say so.
King Under the Mountain can't take Pig.
There you go. He's not on Pig.
If he's King Under the Mountain, this is Old Dane.
I
because
see.
in that case, there's only the 2 mounted on the goat.
Correct.
But it's a very consistent set of warbands. It's not like you've got anything that's going to be struggling in terms of maelstrom deployment. But I also highly respect the fact that there's a large model count.
There's a lot of dwarves going on there. There's a lot of high defense dwarves as well. Nori and Dory there, very, very scary models. Obviously they're getting neither of the negatives for not being unarmed.
Yeah.
So they all get 2-handed.
And three attacks on Dory, as far as I'm aware.
Nori and Dory both have 3 attacks.
Yeah, perfect.
3 attacks, 2 wounds, 5 courage, and then 2 1/1 each. They both have strike and strength. They're both weapons master, and they are weapon synergy as well. So they can reroll 1 dice to win a duel and 1 to make strikes, very similar to
Lord of the West.
I don't think there's going to be a lot to say. This will
lots
hit
of
like a brick,
crossbones, yeah.
and
It's a brick.
it'll take a hit like a brick wall. Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Solid.
Hard to kill,
Well
hard
done,
to
Eric.
Well done.
All right.
Is that all we're saying?
I jumped in first.
There's no
So
variety.
Evan here, Evan W with the Assault on Lothlorien, Legendary Legion, of course. Musgar, obviously spelled different to Musgor from earlier. Druzag and Ashrak. So,
And Orc Shaman. Don't forget the in
there's
slightly
Orc
smaller
Shaman.
font. Smaller font Orc
Trying to
Shaman.
sneak it in there.
Yeah, we know what you're doing, Evan.
first off, Evan, in terms of this list, obviously you're not facing that. You've got the new FAQ, which states the 50% restrictions in terms of goblins and orcs.
Correct.
And I think that this list has obviously struck that balance. There's a bunch of prowlers. Prowlers are huge in this list. There are, 5 giant spiders across the 2 warbands, and 2 bat swarms. I think that's the correct number of bat swarms. But Evan and I disagree here. I think that Lothlorien, the Assault on Lothlorien list, is best taken without Ashrak or any spiders. I know that Kylie used some spiders to great effect over in the UK. And
That doesn't mean it's right.
yeah, correct. I really think the value of an Assault on Lothlorien list is in the Wild Marauders, and I will say that to the day I die. However, in terms of the list that Evan is putting out, there are a lot of threats.
Correct.
Obviously, bringing the special rule of the 12-inch night fighting, you've got spiders that can basically cover that distance. You've got the Enraged Beast there. You've got the 2 bat swarms to make sure that your spider / Musgor is getting some kills to get that will back. You've got so many prowlers with your throwing weapons with the +1 to wound, and the potential 2-handing, all that. So I think Evan will do well with this list. I think I really respect the choice of the Orc Shaman, to be honest. One of the things that this list has is the beast that we covered by Druzag and his Fury. But there's so many orcs in this list, and if you're not utilising those orcs properly, then that's half your numbers that just aren't available to do things. And obviously Andrew Coleman's got the Terror. At this points level, you're starting to see your bigger heroes or your monsters or your this or your that are causing terror. And so I think the choice to take the Shaman there is a smart play.
Absolutely right. I agree with that completely. getting that flexibility to deal with some of those more unique lists coming through, those big monsters, those terror causers, it needs to be there.
And I was doing the counting up now that we know I'm finally good at counting again. Yeah. He's one model short of maxing the Orc Goblin keyword new FAQ, which I don't know if is intentional, but it's a really almost even split of half for that. And I think it's brave and diversion. It's like a bit of a diversion taking trackers in a nighttime list.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
Let's do a speed run, shall we?
Cool.
Cool. Kingdom Moria. Balon, King's Champion, Dwarf Ballista, Shield Bearer. Very good. Balon's quite a good list. King's Champions are fantastic with the 2 Heralds. Lots of defense 8, defense 7 here. Dwarf Ballista is pretty scary, obviously going in there and hitting a lot of the different unique armies go across the board. The Shield Bearers and those King's Champions are going to cause a lot of issues protecting Balon as he does his thing, especially with those Vault Warden teams backing him up as well. Fantastic. Good bows, good throwing axes. I love it.
Andreas, that's your name. Andreas, you took a similar Kingdom of Moria list.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I took a similar list to Clash. It's solid, it's got the shooting, it's got the high defense, ultra high with the Vault Warden teams, and it's got really, really good courage when you take into account Shield Bearer. This is something that'll hit hard, it'll cop it pretty well, but it just ticks all the boxes because other lists just don't quite have the versatility that Kingdom of Moria tends to have. Interesting that there's no Floyd. I think that's probably the right choice, to be honest.
You reckon?
Look, it's hard to say.
It's an easy choice to take Floyd. It's the right choice to take, I guess, a list that doesn't shut down what your opponent does.
I love a King's Champion. I think that in most cases the list will be more consistent with the Shield Bearer and the extra dudes.
Yep.
However, in the 700 point range, I just worry that there are threats that you need to turn something off on.
Look, that's probably correct. I'm giving it to skill choice that he's taking the Shield Bearer instead.
If you can use that more efficiently, then the 3 points of will that you probably get, and then that will be the right choice.
I love those Vault Warden teams.
Yeah.
3 is just enough.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They're very
exactly.
strong.
Cool. We'll take it through. Philippe.
Gil-galad, my old friend.
So it's Gil-galad on a horse with shield, leading a number of high elf warriors, mostly with shield. There is a banner within the warband, as well as 3 Rivendell Knights, all with shield. Círdan is leading the bow contingent, 5 high elves with bow. And then you've got Rumil, 2 Galadrim Guard, and a Sentinel within the list.
That Sentinel is, I was quite pleasantly surprised when I saw 1 Sentinel allied in.
Yeah, I mean, I like the choice of Rumil, obviously. We've talked about the Círdan bubble. I do worry that this potential bubble list with Círdan might not do as well as the previous bubble list because it's only really got that one major threat.
It's interesting, actually. The Kingsguard upgrades, those are going to cause some problems. Having 5/6 warriors is pretty nutty.
That's very true.
Obviously, their killing power is reduced. It's not as good as something like Strength 4, they're only Strength 3. But being able to throw warriors into heroes and shielding is immense.
True.
It's very, very good to have your 9-10 point model shielding off a captain that costs 50 or 60.
I know it's minimal, but you do have the opportunity for a 1 pike deep pincer. You've got 2 Galadrim Guard. Is it? Yeah, it's a guard.
The guards have pikes,
So there'll be a 1 point in that wall that's just going to go...
Plus, I just really respect the fact that you set up your bubble, you've got your shooting, but you've taken the Sentinel for a bit of extra. Hey, come here. And I respect that.
I like it when you say it like that.
I probably would have... Well, I don't know if I would want 3 high elves or maybe 2 or 3 Rivendell Knights with the bows. That's just...
I thought the Rivendell Knights not get bows as default.
They do, yeah.
Oh.
That's what I'm
My
saying.
only thing I would have... I mean, if we're keeping the same format, I would have dropped 1 knight and added another Sentinel.
Okay.
Actually, because you can. And I mean, obviously given the points, I don't know if it came dead to 700, but if you had a couple of points left, Anyway, we'll move through so we can get through some more. Good job, Philippe.
This is interesting, because it's not the Legion.
Wait, it's not.
Well, it doesn't say it's the Legion.
It has an Isengard Troll.
It has a troll.
It has the troll, so it has to be,
It's better than the Legion, it's got a troll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think... So this is Lords with Shield, taking a troll. Mahur leading a bunch of scouts that have been upgraded to Marauders, so there's 12 scouts there, and Vrasku. So, I think that the Troll is an excellent choice. Obviously, if you take Saruman, you want Grima in there as well, and that's already a large chunk of your points. That's, 2/7 of your points, they're gone. Having Lurtz in there and your 2 other heroes and a Troll on top still allows you to keep the numbers strong. It allows you to be a bit more flexible, and the fact that Lurtz is the only hero in the game that can call heroic action means that you're in a strong place.
It's very good. It's super good. He's super versatile. I love how flexible he is. He finds his place in a lot of different Isengard lists. And again, playing him with the Troll is going to cause some serious problems for a lot of those bigger model lists as well.
38 models. If you're worried about Lurtz's one fate, you can keep him safe with 38 Orokai.
Yeah.
And a Troll.
High Troll,
yeah. It's... Look, this does it for me. Yeah. This definitely works.
The most upsetting thing about this list is that you can't throw the shield.
Ah.
That is true.
Yes,
Everything else is great.
Just throw the Troll at him. That's fine. It's fine. Alright.
Oh, baby.
What a list.
Guy.
I love how this is the only list we've seen so far which says brackets.
Leader.
Just in case you didn't know. Leader.
Yeah, I made it really clear that this Mario Goblin captain is the leader.
It's the right choice.
Not Grublog.
And not Grublog.
This is the right choice.
So, I want to give a shout out to a game I played against Mike, who took Groblog, Prowlers, and a Marauder or 2 on a flank, and because of that army bonus with the trap, absolutely shredded my entire flank. I love the fact that he's got the Cave Drake in there because I think the Cave Drake is something that all of us have been sleeping on.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Cave Drakes are being slept on. I think they're fantastic. More tech to be discussed, but I won't say today. But
and
expect more.
The Watcher in the Water is one of the best models in the game. I don't think that there's too much argument in that. If there is, come catch me at Masters. We'll have a beverage and prove you why you're wrong. In terms of the Watcher in the Water, they did FAQ it so that you cannot might up the roll to come on. So the recommendation, obviously I'm sure guys had enough practice, you got to try and bring it on slightly earlier because it's less consistent in coming on. But the fact that you can do such shenanigans whilst also having the issue of having to deal with the Cave Drake, because you've got the 2 big monsters in there, you haven't been able to take as many Marauders. I think the 1 Bat Swarm, controversial opinion, is enough. Usually, because you don't have the 2 monsters. Whether it'll be enough with 2 monsters, even though you couldn't sacrifice others for the points, will come down to your list.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think it comes down to composition. The composition's good. I just think it's then about placement. Where are you playing your Bat Swarm? Where are you playing your Cave Drake and the Watcher? Are you building it behind the line? Are you playing the Cave Drake separate to the Watcher or with it? Remains to be seen. But I think that's the skill in this list. Is knowing where to play them on the board, and then how to sort of integrate them with each other and do that synergy.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Cool. We're going to pause it there.